Stoke, a host at this station, sees a scenario in which one Broncos player, one of our favorites, could be on his way out after this year. A couple days ago, Sandy and Orlando were discussing Justin Simmons and his upcoming free agency. And our guy Big O thinks that Justin Simmons is playing his final days as a Bronco. Check this out.
I really think, Sandy, and you could call me crazy if you want, I really think that Justin Simmons is not here next year. I think that he's going to continue to play football and continue to play really well. And now we're at the point where there's only 7 games left, and he's been a person that's been betting on himself. And I think he's going to take a look at the trust. I'm thinking he's going to take a look at coming in here in 2015 after the Super Bowl. And you come into a team that just won the Super Bowl, and now all of a sudden 4 years you missed the playoffs. I think that he's going to take a look at all of that, and he's going to come to the conclusion that I've already played all the football games. I might as well listen to the offers that is going to come from other teams, and there's going to be a team that is a lot closer to playoffs, a lot closer to maybe making an appearance in the Super Bowl than the Denver Broncos, and I think he gets scooped up.
What do you make of those thoughts from Orlando?
I mean, it's not crazy talk. Look, I mean, we got 7 weeks left in the season. If he hits free agency, we don't know what the market's going to look like for Justin Simmons, but probably a team that can spend more than the Broncos can and are looking for safety help. Young safety, has a really good year, does everything great off the field, and great teammate, great leader. Just pay him more than the Broncos can pay him. I mean, you see all the money that the Broncos have put in the secondary. They've put a lot. It's hard to continue that by paying Justin Simmons. Now, maybe they'll make a run at him here in the next couple weeks to try to get something done. And even in that situation, even when you get in December as a player, you look at it and say, okay, do I want to gamble 4 more weeks of playing football, or do I want to take a good deal? Now, if it's not a good deal, you just gamble and just say, I'll just gamble on these 4 weeks, and I'm not going to take a huge discount, but you'll take a little bit of a discount, especially when it's your first contract, just like Chris Harris, Derek Wolfe. They took a little bit of a discount.
For the security of the money.
For the security. You're getting it now. You don't have to worry about playing another month of football and all of a sudden tearing your ACL in December. Now you just crashed and burned. The market for you is no longer there anymore because you just got injured. So if you could have that security of a contract in December, early December, some guys would take it, especially if it's a good deal, solid deal. Now, you're not going to take it under the market value deal, something too low.
Right.
But I don't know what the Broncos could offer him compared to maybe what he thinks he's worth or his agent thinks he's worth. I mean, that's what it comes down to, really, because of their situation. How much money can you put in the secondary?
I just got to say, I think it would be a real shame if, draft picks that the Broncos have hit on have been hard to come by, especially during those years, like the 2015, 2016, 2017. If there's one guy during that stretch of time that has worked out, it's been Justin Simmons. I mean, we've been chock full of Paxton Lynch, Adam Gotsis, Devontae Booker, Shane Ray, Tyson Brilo, Jeff Hireman, Max Garcia, Brandon Langley, Carlos Henderson, Garrett Bowles. We got a bunch of those, but we have one guy that is an Iron Man. He plays more than anybody else at his position in the whole league, and you have to, when you do hit on a guy like Justin Simmons, I think you have to make it a priority to keep him a Bronco. And beyond being a very good player, an ascending player, Justin Simmons is also a great dude. And you say, wait, well, why would that matter? Well, we're in the process of a rebuild here. And I think he's great for the culture. He's great for the locker room. He's a leader in that locker room. And I think that's got to be somewhat of a factor in addition to him just being a damn good football player.
Yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't mean, just because a guy worked out his first 4 years doesn't mean that you sign him or that you can sign him. There's other factors involved. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you missed on a lot of the picks, and the one that you really hit on, you just might have to see him walk because of the circumstances. You paid Kareem Jackson at safety. You paid Bryce Callahan. What's going to happen at the other cornerback position? Chris Harris is probably going to walk. I mean, you're going to try to sign another free agent? Are you going to, what are you going to do there? You're going to look at these young guys that have been playing and count on one of those guys. So I think they would like to, of course, because he's a really good football player. He's a good locker room guy. I mean, he's everything that you want. But sometimes because of the situation on your football team, I mean, there's other needs maybe more pressing than Justin Simmons at the safety position because of the assets you've already allocated to the secondary.
Look, you're making sense. I'm making sense. I hope they can just find out a way to get this done, because you're saying there may be a more pressing need. Don't make safety a pressing need by letting Justin Simmons walk. I hope, I had hoped, and I said 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said within the next 8 weeks, I think they get a deal done with Justin Simmons. If they haven't been trying behind the scenes, I think they're doing themselves a disservice, because you do offer that security. And you were at that one point in your career, right, with Indianapolis during the season. They came to you and said, "What do you think?"
In December, and signed a deal there. Signed a deal here in Denver in December. My first year here in 2007. Gave me a good deal, solid deal. Wanted to stay here and was like, okay, perfect. Took it. Both of those deals that I did were in December, and I was happy and content. But everybody's in different stages. You know, in Indy, I was going on my third contract,
right?
But I hadn't been a healthy free agent. So, you know, usually that first contract that you get, or first time at free agency, you're more willing to take a deal earlier.
Sure.
Because you're like, okay, well, this is a great deal. I'm getting a lot of guaranteed money. I can breathe, take a deep breath here, and not have to worry about getting injured, right? And now all of a sudden costing myself $10 million and having to sign a 1-year prove-it deal. Now you're more willing to gamble on yourself in a Chris Harris type of situation where you've already gotten paid. You can gamble on yourself because if it doesn't work out, okay, I'm still good.
Yeah.